Don't judge yourself or condemn yourself for things that you've done in the past, or the way that you treated yourself in the past, or how you treated others. You need to forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward, because it's all a lesson learned. Because I do believe sometimes you can say, somebody did this to me, somebody did that. And in that time when they did it, they could have been in a totally different headspace. And you would think, and you would like to hope and think, that people grow and mature past how they've been in the past. You would like to believe that people have grown, and that you have grown as a person, and that you're not going to allow that anymore. And in some ways, when people hurt you, and when you hurt people, you become a lesson, a blessing, or whatever to that person. It takes people to heal people. So people will come in your life, come and go. You will attract people. You will allow people in your life for certain things and for certain lessons and certain blessings. And it's up to you to get it. Sometimes a person can be in your life as a blessing, and because you, or in whatever state of mind you're in, and state of being that you're in, you can't take the blessing. You can't accept the blessing. So now you're going to have to take the lesson of maybe losing this person. And then you got to look back and be like, oh, I could have did this, I could have did that, and why did I do this, and why did I do that? But also see it as a lesson. Be like, okay, when I see this next time, or in other situations, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be open to my blessings. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask this, I'm going to ask that. I'm going to avoid this, I'm going to avoid that. You learn from it. Don't condemn yourself, because you're just here learning. You're just here learning and building up your soul and building up your spirit enough to grow and to elevate and to be enlightened and to move forward in life. And to still persevere and still exhale despite any of the pain, turmoil, or anything that's been sustained within your life, anything that you inflicted on other people. That's why you got to forgive yourself. Ask for forgiveness from others, even if you don't ask them face to face, verbatim, asking them, literally asking them, but you just put it out there that you're asking for a blessing, you're asking for blessings for them, you're asking for forgiveness. Because hurt people, right? So who's to say that your behaviors didn't come from somebody else and you push it onto somebody else? Now, we don't blame people, but we say, I forgive myself, I forget those who have done it to me, and I'm grateful that I can be more aware of this issue and I can make conscious choices and decisions moving forward. And you might still slip and fall, but you have to keep working on elevating yourself, enlightening yourself, moving forward in life and taking life as it is, as well as changing your life, growing, being a better person, like just evolving your spirit. But the more and more that you stay in that same spot, even if you are, as you are evolving, the longer you stay in one spot and you have to keep learning your lesson over and over and over and over again, guess what that is, my friends? That's hell. That's hell. When you have to constantly be shown this lesson over, because you can't get it in your head that 1 and 1 is 2. Because you can't get that in your head, I'm going to have to keep showing you situations and putting you in positions where 1 and 1 is mother effing 2. And you're going to have to figure it out. Because you can't move past without having that. You have to know that to move to the next level. I can't take you to the next level if you don't have that under control. You're not going to be able to do well. You're still going to not be able to receive those blessings or to use it as a stepping stone. You're going to mess it up. So we're going to keep working on this, because I keep showing it to you and you acting like you see it, but then you still doing something else or saying something else or being around other people. So I'm going to keep showing you. You get it? Oh, you getting it? Like that's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. That's what life is doing. Either you're going to be in that same cycle and be in hell, or you're going to get to the next ring, the next rung, the next step, the next whatever. But if you stay plateaued and you have to keep learning and relearning and figuring out, which sometimes you need that. And hopefully each time you come back through that cycle that you're in, because sometimes you need to be in hell. Sometimes you literally need to be in hell so that you can get back and go to heaven and you can ascend. Sometimes you need that. Just like sometimes you need to drop from heaven and descend to hell for a little bit. Sometimes you need to see heaven for a little bit, even though you're in hell, just to give you that more glimpse, like, okay, it's possible, I'm possible, we making it happen. Let's go. That's the goal. It's the wins and the losses, but it's still all wins if you, depending on how you look at it. Look at it, all of it as a win, y'all. It's all a win. Even a loss is a win. And some losses are harder to swallow than others. Some wins are smaller than others. But it is what it is. Like, a win is a win. A win is a win. So you got to see it as such and grow. And you are growing. You are doing a good job. And that's sometimes, a lot of times, look at how far you come. Look at how you've been blessed. Look at your life. And look at what you've been given from God. There's so many graces that we get, just like little Hail Marys that just come out for us. And in so many ways, one of the most beautiful things is to be that for somebody else. To be able to be a Hail Mary for another spirit. To be able to create space for another soul. That's a beauty. That's a blessing, y'all. That's a blessing. But you gotta see how you're gonna do it. Just like they say, like, your kids are a gift. Children are a gift. Children are a blessing. Some people don't see it as such. But a child literally will teach you some things. Because you have to go through life again through that child's eyes, in a sense. Because now you're seeing, when people had this around me when I was a kid, that wasn't right. Because I don't like that stuff being around my kids. I don't like people talking like that around my kids. But I was so used to it growing up that I just thought that's what it was. But them kids, seeing that child and experiencing life through their eyes, it will help you to see life differently. That's where it's a blessing. Because then you can start to formulate in your mind what type of parent you want to be. What type of mentor you want to be. What type of coach you want to be for your child. What type of supporter do you want to be? What type of provider do you want to be for your child? And that's how you work on, like, that inner child healing. That's part of it. Part of that inner child healing is being the parent that you needed, and also that child needs. If you see that they need more help with this, more direction with this, they might be different than you. But you see, okay, I was more of a shy kid. My daughter, she just be so out there. Instead of me telling her, girl, calm down, you need to let her, instead of dampening her light, what's some ways I can put her in positions where she can let that part of herself be expressed? I might not be comfortable expressing it because I was a shy kid. Even though I wish that I put myself out there more, maybe as a kid, I wouldn't be feeling how I feel now. What can I do to help her be more expressive of this? If you're a more extroverted, louder person, and you're very expressive, and your kid is more closed in, more shy, instead of trying to find ways to make them be more like you, what are some things that they can work on, some things that the interests that they might have that I can help to cultivate within them? And then in them enjoying that and liking that, at least they will, even with the shyness, they will have a skill set, they will have an art form, they will have an interest that they can always go into and enjoy and express themselves within that interest or within that talent. And who's to say that very thing that they've been so interested in and so enthralled in and worked on and built on as a child into adulthood, that might be the thing that everybody just be giving them the most attention about. It like, oh my gosh, like, I wasn't expecting that. I just really like doing this, but thank you. That's how you create artists. This is just, whatever it is, just be there, be supportive of your children, and cultivate what they have naturally going on with them. But of course, give them that stability, that structure, all of that children need. I don't care how young, wild, and free you raising your kids. Children, people in general, need structure. We already talked about this. People in general already need structure, so children especially need it. They're going to get it from somewhere, somebody, somehow. So give them the structure. You be the orchestrator of that. Don't allow the world to give your child that. You give them that, because you also giving them the discipline and all of that as well. You don't want the world to discipline your kids. You just don't. I mean, everybody is different, but if the world discipline your kids, they're not going to see that oh, this is my child and I love them and I just want to cultivate. They're not going to care about none of that. The world going to handle the child the way the world handles anybody. So if anything, you discipline your children so the world ain't got to discipline your children. And the world going to discipline your children anyway, because everybody got to learn how they going to learn. But you be the foundation and the support for your children to begin with. And whilst doing that, cultivate and help them to grow into who they already are. You can tell how your kids are. You can just look at them, you can just tell. And of course, everybody grow and develop, and this part of them might come out more, this part of them might go, but you want to still put them in a position where you can support them, where you can give them something to be themselves, but also give them the structure and the discipline they need. And that's every household is different with that. Now, I can't tell you how to discipline your kids. People are different. You was raised different. Some people might say, no, sometimes I need to get a little spanking or something. Some people be like, no, I don't want that. I don't want to hit my kids. You don't know why that person said that. They could have been with somebody that instead of lightly hitting them, this person threw them across the room, broke bones and shit, throwing stuff at them. So for this person, that gets to them. They don't want to put their hands on their kids. And everybody is different. It might not even be that dramatic, but everybody is different how they going to discipline their children. And sometimes you got to learn, okay, I got to discipline you a little different. I can't do you like how my parents discipline me. You a little different. I'm going to have to do something. He says, you like to talk so much. I'm going to put you in a position where you can't talk at all. That's your discipline. But the youngest, like my youngest, when we discipline her, she can't talk. She's like, shoot, I'm cool with that shit. I would try to talk to y'all anyways. So you got to give her a different discipline. But I'm about to listen to some Def Cab for Cutie. I love you all. Just going on this tree-filled walk. Trying to avoid the sun, even though I do have sunscreen on. I'm trying to stay young. Keep looking anti-aging, okay? All right, I love you all. Bye.